So, how do you keep abreast with what the audience is looking for? Do you go and find children to read to or to listen to stories to know that you're connecting?
You mean as a what for me as an agent or
For you as an
for the
agent, or is that something you would recommend that writers do?
Yes, I mean, I think that having children or teens in your life is very important. I mean, I have two grandchildren, and I love to read out loud to them. My own kids, I remember reading to them. Books were always around the house. When I was growing up, there were always books. My dad, particularly, was a great reader. I think that people who, well, both for agents and for writers and editors, I think there's a child inside of you. And I think if you're writing middle grade, there's a middle grade child inside that you are responding to. Someone who writes for teens, I think there's a teen in there that is responding. For picture books, there's a younger child that is inside of you. And I think you need to cherish and protect that childlikeness in you as a writer, as an editor, as an agent, because I think that's what gives you the ability to really write or to look for books for that audience. I do think it's useful to maybe in a bookstore setting or a school setting to read to kids, kind of gauge, where their interest sags, where you get their attention, or family members. I do think it's good to have kids around you, but I think it's the inner child that's equally important.
And I know that you got a master's degree in children's literature from Simmons College in Boston.
Yeah.
Did you decide relatively early that children's literature was where you were going to gravitate toward? When did you decide?
It's probably my mentality, but childlike things kind of interest me. But yes, I knew right away children's books fascinated me. I mean, I was a great reader myself. I mean, I think I had a British childhood. Beatrix Potter, A.A. Milne, Frances Hosden Burnett, all these great British writers, George MacDonald. I did my master's thesis on George MacDonald's At the Back of the North Wind, one of the great fantasy masterpieces. So yeah, I knew children's books interested me. And my first job, as I told you earlier, was at Highlights for Children. Then I worked at the Weekly Reader Book Club, acquiring books for them. Then the Trumpet Book Club. I worked at Oxford University Press. I worked at Simon & Schuster, HarperCollins. So I've done a little bit of everything. But I've always been around children's books, which is something that I absolutely love. So yes, it's kind of been a love affair for a long time.